Governor Pete Ricketts talks a lot about growing the state through agriculture and expanded livestock opportunities. Some counties are more and more becoming livestock friendly. That's one of the things counties are doing. And counties also adopted a new matrix tool to help with zoning issues. A lot of these issues come up because the reality is sometimes people say, I don't want that in my backyard. I don't want that feedlot, but that helps our state grow. So finding that balance. Emily Skillett from AFAN, that's something you guys try to help with, right? When it comes to some of those zoning issues, how AFAN kind of gets involved in some of that.
Yes, so we are there to help producers when they look to expand or site a new facility. We are there to be able to assist them, kind of almost hold their hand through the zoning hearing. Most counties have a hearing with their zoning administrator and the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then they have another public hearing with the county commissioners. That's usually how most counties work. We do have some exempt counties in the state, but for the majority of the people, that's what we deal with. And so what we do is we go in and we talk about the tax base that livestock brings in. We talk about some of the different research articles that talk about odor and how we can maintain that good clean air in Nebraska and still have livestock at the same time.
You know, it's one of these things that if you're just a family producer out there and you want to add that hog barn or that poultry barn and it's new in your area and sometimes neighbors have concerns, but you've never stood in front of your county commissioners before and you don't know, what do I tell them? What do they want to know? And that's where you can kind of play a role.
Absolutely, right? Yes. And we highly recommend that all of our producers make that very sometimes uncomfortable stance and talk to their neighbors and answer any questions before they ever get a letter from the county saying that they're going to be putting in a facility. And so we really encourage that there's a lot of open communication, a lot of open dialogue, and that way when the neighbors, maybe they still don't want it, they can go into the county commissioners, they know the information, they know there's no surprises, and then like I said, then we can help them go in front of their county commissioners and kind of explain what their project looks like, kind of go through some of those details that maybe they wouldn't think to answer on their own until they're prompted, and we can kind of prepare them a little bit more for those open hearings.
You know, but when we look at economic development in rural areas, you're not necessarily going to have the workforce to bring in a big manufacturing plant, but we have the feed sources, we have farmers, and if you want to bring that next generation onto the farm, maybe adding that poultry barn or that hog barn or a cattle feeding operation fits, and it does generate revenue, tax revenue, jobs that are spun off of that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So we're seeing, obviously, our farmers and ranchers are getting to be older and older, and we're seeing a hard time where we're trying to bring back the young generation, but there's not enough income off of the farm to support two families. And this is a great way to, like I said, bring another income onto the farm or the ranch, bring another family onto the farm. That increases, of course, your children in the public schools. It increases the tax base that then funds those public services. So it's kind of a cycle. We want to make sure that these kids aren't leaving the state. We want to make sure that these kids aren't leaving the farm. Because, like I said, we want to continue to see that to be a generational.
All right, Emily from AFAN, thanks so much. You can find AFAN. They're on Facebook. They're online. Check them all out. We're going to send it over to Kent and we'll learn more about these butterflies that are swarming right around us here.